speaking of warped senses of humor, okay?
Okay.
So, Andrew Schultz, right? He is a
Yes.
comedian. He is he has a podcast called Flagrant Podcast, right? And he also has another podcast with Charlamagne the Guy called Brilliant Idiots. He was on his podcast Flagrant, and they were talking about Kendrick because Kendrick mentioned him in his song, I think, Whacked Out Murals, right? And when he said, like, don't let no white comedian disrespect black women and F everybody who's with him and who thinks it's funny too, right? And this happened because Andrew Schultz had these two black dudes on. They made a joke about black women. They laughed, he laughed, and so that's where I think the story's from. When I heard it, that's what I immediately went to. I said, oh, he's talking about Andrew. Okay. So Andrew gets on his platform, okay? Now, he starts off, I didn't watch the whole podcast. I only saw like the 7-minute clip. He gets on his show, and he talked about, he mentioned the line, right? And then he goes into his spiel about basically calling Kendrick a hypocrite, right? Because he said, like, you talking about protecting black women. Rappers are notoriously disrespectful to black women. You've worked with a lot of artists who are known abusers and things like that. You went to defend R. Kelly and stuff like that. So that's the road. That was the road he was going down. Mm-hmm. And I'd like to see where comedians try to take things, right? Like, you stick with him, like, okay, like, let's see where he's going with it. I see the path. Then he made a hard left. He said, yo, honestly, Kendrick, his whole team, the gang affiliations, they will all kill me, they'll stab me, they'll beat me up, whatever. He said, Kendrick, though, by himself, if I wanted to, I'd make love to him, and he wouldn't be able to do a thing about it. And then everybody on the couch laughed, and then he went and doubled and tripled down on it. And I was just like, oh, Jesus, like, what are we doing here? Now, here's the thing. Andrew has a very, very, very large fan base. Nowhere as large as Kendrick Lamar's, right? Mm-hmm. Nowhere as large. But I am actually concerned about where that can go. Like, yes. you threaten a man's, like, manhood, essentially, right?
Yes.
And we talked about how rabid Kendrick's fan base is.
Yes.
I am actually concerned about where that goes. Like,
yeah,
somebody could hurt him.
And here's the thing, Malcolm. First, I need the comedian to be funny. That wasn't funny at all, right? So when you in the comedian space, you want to say, oh, I can see how that was. That was a blatant violation of everything we stand for. You know what I mean? And this ain't about Kendrick's album and sales and what I think about his music. No. There's a line. This is what I mean. That's just, we don't ever want to cross this line. You don't ever want to say to another grown man, I will violate you. And it'd be nothing if I wanted to make love to you, I could, and there's nothing you can do about it. I'd sit you on my lap and say all of this foul stuff about any man in particular. And so I was disturbed by that, right? Now, these comedians, let's go back to Hannibal, who got Bill Cosby in trouble, Cat Williams, who got everybody in trouble, and now you have Andrew Schultz, who's pandering to his audience, because even those dudes who was in the studio were nervously laughing. It wasn't like, a funny, I'm bent over, this shit is funny. There was nothing funny. And this is what we mean by, there's just certain lines that we have to be careful that we don't cross, because that's some personal shit. And not only will dudes in LA get at him, he better be careful anywhere he go. You know what I mean?
that's what I'm saying. Like, that was
crazy.
That's
foul, man. You know what I mean?
And And remember, and that's some like real jailhouse. Like remember, Mike Tyson said that about somebody, right?
Yeah.
On some like I'm gonna like so it's a real barbaric
I forget the
way of
fighter he was facing. He said, "I'm gonna fuck you in your ass. I'm gonna
right.
fucking." It was just
It's a real barbaric way of establishing dominance. It's a real
yes,
just kind of like I can't believe you just said that. And if you watch it, he doubled and tripled down on it, and then like and still put it up on YouTube. You get what I'm saying? So it was just
yes,
kind of like he saw where the line was and completely jumped over and kept hopping back and forth over the line and said, "I dare you to do something."
yes.
Now, what is? I just don't know where this goes. I don't know where this goes because I'm watching people not defend it, but go, okay, but where's the line now? Because we've as a society, we've made everything that was once taboo, and we just kind of made excuses for why that could fit in comedy or why that could work in a rap battle, why this could work here, why like we make excuses for a lot, and it's
Not only that,
disturbing. But we've kind of made our bed in a way where this is okay. Like it's
thank
weird.
you, Malcolm. You use a term. We're eating ourselves from the inside out. So we have accepted so much debauchery in our everyday culture now. You know what I'm saying? We just accept debauchery. And because we have accepted it, those lines are in alignment with
Yeah.
debauchery, with just no kind, low vibration, no integrity to anything. Because I'm from an era when my comedians gave you truth in joking ways that you could digest and take home and really think about. The way Bill Cosby or Richard Pryor did comedy and infused politics in it. George Carl, they did it in such a unique way that it was funny, but it still gave you an opportunity to walk away with something to think about. This is just pure low vibration, low energy debauchery. So now I can say anything about you, about your mother, your children, just
And here's
anybody,
what's gonna happen.
your handicapped son. Everything is just on the table, and people are entertained. And so we've done this to ourselves.
And
Right?
and here's what's gonna happen. Because Joe Rogan the past 10 years, no, I'm gonna shorten it. The past 5 years for sure, he has made his he has created this us versus them mentality when it comes to comedians and everybody else. He acts like comedians are their own class of people that should be allowed to say whatever they want because we need to be allowed to speak truth and things like that. So it's another reason why his podcast got so big is because he kind of framed the conversation to where we are the last vestige of truth here. Okay.
Got you.
Andrew Schultz, he didn't completely take off until he got on Rogan's show. Right? And it's a bunch of comedians. It's a small and Cat Williams talked about the 6 comedians that never been funny that he talked about. They all use cancel culture as a shield. Now, what that does is it makes his fan base double and triple down for him. Because you're gonna try to cancel him because Andrew Schultz has been trending all day today, right?
Okay.
So instead of you're not gonna cancel our guy, this is our guy. He should be allowed to say what he want, and then against your guy, and then Kendrick's core bases, they're gonna double and triple down on him, and then not even just Kendrick's base, like black people, like everybody
Black
who's just
people
against
everywhere.
that.
I'm
Everybody who's
all
just
Kendrick
against
on
that
this.
type of right.
Yeah.
Everybody who's just against that type of just that type of rhetoric. And then what that does is it causes the clash, and then it causes everybody else to double and triple down on their side. Like you're gonna see a lot of people defending Andrew Schultz. Now, I could see Charlemagne taking the moral way and try to distance himself from Andrew, but Charlemagne plays a very important role in this as well. He platformed him for years. Okay, for years. Charlemagne also has sent his co-host molds of his butthole and things like that. So we're not gonna say. So when Charlemagne, if he does, and I think he will, tries to come out and act like I'm totally against this. How could he do this? Or I'm not doing the show with him no more. He has a very important and very obvious role here too. So we'll see.
And Malcolm,
we'll see.
There's still an elephant in the room, right? Rape is never funny, but all summer long, we've been dancing to trying to strike a chord, and it's probably a minor, right? And so Andrew Schultz people are going to take that approach that this is basically fair game. I don't think it's fair game. I didn't like none of it to begin with.
Yeah,
so I thought it was
same.
all raggedy. Talking about being a wife beater, of A minor, well, I can say because it's the private show. All of that shit is nasty. And we're going to eventually have to just leave it where it is. But I would be very careful if I was Schultz.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I could really see. Somebody said that's a terrible correlation. Listen, once the Pandora's box is open, like we can't say what
if you break the rules, if I break the rules a little bit more than you broke the rule, we still both violated the rules.
Like
you understand?
I remember when going back to like when Pusha T was talking about how 40 is about to die, tick tick tick, how much time. You can watch the show. I was like, nah, man, it's a battle. It's all gold. But like, as I'm older now, as I'm just kind of like watching, I was like, that was foul, bro. Like, that was, like there's certain.
This is what happened, Malcolm. I'm from the era when you battled on skill and wit, crowd performance, how you rock the crowd, your bars, great. Battle rap came in, and even that was based on double and triple entendres, you know what I'm saying, being face to face with a man to see how, and then somewhere along the line, it just got muddy. And once it got real muddy, regular MCs and people are looking at that as the template now. And so now we can say any and everything. It's all foul. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You may not like the correlation, but it's all foul. It's not based on skill set. And this generation is based on corporations anyway. Which corporation is stronger than this corporation? And so it's bad. It's all bad. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know?
So, but yeah, I can 100% see, because Andrew, he what he did once, and a lot of people exposed him for this. So one time he was trying to sell his special, and he said that he didn't say who was the streamer service, but he said the streamer service was trying to edit out some of my jokes, and I had to buy it back from them because I want you guys to get the jokes in its full, thing. So I'm gonna put the special out on my own, right? I'm gonna sell it directly. I'm gonna sell it directly to the people. Okay. He sold it, made a bunch of money, and then he put it out for free anyway on YouTube. And everybody was just like, yo, like none of these jokes were that bad. So you kind of got over.
You hustled us.
There's an entire class of comedians that have been using cancel culture, quote unquote, because that's never been a thing if you kind of go back, right? They've been using cancel culture as a way to market themselves. So this was just a very clever way.
Punches. Yeah.
Right. A very clever way of saying something very foul in hopes to trend, in which he did. And now it's going to make his brand and his audience cling to him a lot more. I see it happening.
Yeah,
I see it happening.
I don't know
And
no black people who rock with him besides Charlemagne, and so we also get a division along racial lines. Because on this, I'm Kendrick all day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm not.
You don't ever talk
I was
about
just like,
penetrating another man. That's just foul, man. That's foul. You know?
yeah. And
So-
he said it. He said rape without saying rape. He said like only thing he could do is decide if it's consensual or not. That's
Dude,
crazy.
that's when he said that. I said, "Holy shit! I can't believe he said that."
Yeah, he was doubling and tripling
down
and
on it.
His show's not live like ours, where like if you say it, it's just kind of like damn, I said that. He was able to sit with that. He was able to, and then still go put it up.
Yeah.
The boldness.
See,
That's crazy.
The disadvantage we don't have. We're live.
Yes.
So
Yes.
all I can do is when we get off Malcolm, go, "All right, Dad, that was a little too far," or you know what I'm saying, this and that. I can't pull it back. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
that's why we try to keep the live, in tune with what we're doing. I found the line where it's safe for me to have fun in this,
Yeah.
but it's just certain things we just not gonna say and we're not gonna do, especially to another man of Kendrick's stature at this moment. This is
Yeah.
not gonna end well. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
It's not gonna end well.
Let's get this. All right. Let's get to some more
You are
stuff.
tuned into the sounds.
No commercial
of
breaks.
Urban X.
Let's go.
No commercial breaks. So
Peace. This is the Black Dot. If you like what you see and you would like to get the full, uncut, unedited version of this type of information, go to urbanx.nyc and sign up now. It's $10 a month or $100 for the year. And there's so much more information packed inside. Head to urbanx.nyc now. Let's do it. Peace.